they've made the announcement, but we did have a little sleepover this week. So for those that know, you know. For those that don't, you don't. But we had a little guest for a couple nights this week while their parents were a little busy in downtown. So
I'm good. Oh.
I don't know if they've announced it to the world of social medias. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So, Jesus Christ, Mandy joined.
And our number one fan from
Huey's
Colorado.
Huey's favorite fan from Colorado. Oh, God, this should be great.
Lovely to see you, Katie Rose.
So good.
I had like a bunch of cool shit in my mind today that I was going to talk about, and it's gone.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
The power blipped and it fucking erased your memory.
Yep. Let's see if I had any notes. I think I wrote something down. So one of the guys I work with, we have this ongoing joke where I'll be like, "Hey, Eli." He'll be like, "Yeah." I'll be like, "Fuck you." So he's like on to me now. So when I actually need something, he won't answer me.
Oh, that's handy.
But today, so I walked out and like I had something funny to show him on my phone, and in my notes I wrote that. So I walked up to him like, "Hey, Eli," and he kind of looked at me. I'm like, "Nah, it's got to show you this." And I showed it to him. He's like, "Oh, fuck you." It was awesome. Worked out well. So as you know from our as far as the listeners go, as you know from our last episode, we had Andy from Ochang on.
Yep.
He followed up with a when I left here, he followed up with a kind of what we ended on. He said, whenever I do these shows, he always thinks of something he should have said afterwards.
Yeah.
And with his cartoons, as far as, talking or offending people, it goes, I think the key is not crossing the line and never punching down on crossing the line. The best comedy is empathetic in a way you can make fun without being cruel. And he said, if that makes sense. And I said, well, yeah, it does.
It does.
And, but he was cool to talk to.
He was. And I hope everyone enjoyed it. And if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it, because it was actually really fun to sit down and chat with him for quite a while. I mean, we had him on for over an hour or so.
And he said he'd be more than happy to come back, so which is cool.
I did talk to my neighbor about it, and he's like, does he realize how big they are in the merchant marine industry?
I'm sure.
Especially because you've got so many dudes from Maine. And
yeah, that's a rich community with, especially that area, like where it's based out.
It is down east, and so.
But yeah, that's about it. Mandy said hi.
She did say hi. Hi.
Oh, that's right. You can see it too.
Again.
I forget that you can also see it, and now that I'm just being able to.
I have a little critique that might help us out right now.
What's that?
Grab the back end of your mic and turn it that way.
Right to my face?
Yeah.
Like this?
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh, well, listen to that.
We can hear the Hueys.
Hello.
It was a great podcast. Love the Temp Tales. Been watching for a while. Yeah. They are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I even like their educational ones. I don't know if anyone's watched them, like the Green Crab one and all this. Mm-hmm. The Green Crab one is one of my favorites.
He should do a cartoon based on us. I'd like to see that animated.
I don't know if that's a great idea.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it'd be pretty short.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right.
You sell lawn equipment.
Lawn equipment accessories.
That's right.
You're probably going to think I'm a crazy person for just realizing this, but the picture of the Viking that's on the wall over there?
Yes.
resembles you
It does
very much.
It actually came.
You know, we've been out here for 66 episodes,
We have.
and I've probably looked at that 1,000 times.
That came from my stepfather-in-law's father's house, I believe, is where that came from.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
there you go.
We could do a little tour one day of
like a Cribs episode.
A Cribs episode of the recording studio. Yeah.
So I get a little from a story from when we went fishing on Sunday. So we're at York Pond.
Megan Welch said, "Hey nerds" on our last live video because apparently it went under my live on my Facebook. So, hi Megan.
Hi Megan. We should get Chris on. That'd be electric. But anyways, so we're fishing at York Pond, and there was a couple there when we pulled in, and we're fishing, and all of a sudden, man, he's like, that guy's walking down. So I look up, and he crunchy granola. She was Far Eastern, Asian, most likely purchased online, I would assume.
Allegedly.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I just hope you got a good deal.
So he came down and he's like, so my car has a new battery, but it doesn't do anything when I turn the key.
Okay.
Like, okay. Did you leave the key on? Well, I'm not sure. I said, okay. Does it do anything when you try to turn the key? He goes, well, it clicks. So I said, all right. Do you have jumper cables? He goes, yeah, I have jumper cables. I have them, but they're buried in my toolbox. And to be completely honest, I didn't want to have to dig them out. I would have, but if it's your battery that's dead, we should be using your jumper cables.
Your problem, bud.
So I'm like, all right, well, I'll pull my truck up. My battery's on the passenger side. Of course, his car is pulled into the fucking woods with a tree on either side. So I get my truck as close as I can, and the battery cables are like 2 feet too short. He's like, so what do we do? I was like, well, if I had cables, which I did, but again, they're buried in my toolbox. I'm not getting in the back of my truck to get them. And I'm not letting you get in the back of my truck to get them either. So I didn't tell him I had cables. And so I'm like, well, put the car in neutral and we'll push it back. Well, it won't start. Turn the key to the on position, put the car in neutral. Well, we're going to have to put a rock in front of the tires. I'm like, no, we'll put it back in park, and you can set your parking brake, and then it won't roll. So I'm thinking, let's use our fucking heads here.
He's using all he's got, though, pal.
So we get the car pushed back. We get just enough cable where I have to hold the cables on my battery. And so I'm holding them. I'm like, all right, turn your key. Well, don't you have to let go of the cables? I'm like, no, it's insulated. So just turn the key so we can get this thing started. Okay. So his wife gets in, turns the key, starts it. Didn't even get a thank you from the dude.
Really?
So, yeah. It was he just gave me like a thumbs up, and that was it.
Off they went. Huh.
Maine plate, or no, New Hampshire plates.
Nah, fucking dirty New Hampshire.
So
I would like it to be known, though, like Maine and New Hampshire do have a really good...
We get, especially like southern New Hampshire, southern Maine.
I feel like it's a good report. Even any New Hampshire. Like, I see a New Hampshire plate, I don't immediately get filled with rage as much as I do as I see a fucking white and red plate from fucking Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But then again, it's Massachusetts, so you're rightfully so. And even some Maine plates now, I just get mad at people.
So I'm like, this is a story. Sorry to get back on Corona, but it has to do with that, and we'll leave it at that. But Barbara, one of her friends, her son works at Bob's Clam Hut. She was picking him up. So she was backed into a parking spot, sitting in the car with her window down. Car pulls in next to him. The lady rolls down the window and says, "You don't have a mask on." She goes, "I'm in my car." She goes, "Well, you're supposed to have a mask on." She goes, "I'm in my car." "Well, I can't get out because we're too close and you don't have a mask on."
Get fucked.
And so at this point, the husband's like, "Yeah, you're supposed to have a mask on." And she's like, "Did you quarantine for 2 weeks when you came here from Pennsylvania?" And the husband said to her, "We came here because Maine needs our money."
Kindly find the door and go fuck yourself.
Fuck all the way off. Just like those people that put ketchup on macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, what kind of psychopath does that?
Right?
I'll put ketchup on grilled cheese. Actually, I prefer barbecue sauce, but if I'm in a pinch, I'll go.
Yeah, see, barbecue sauce, okay. But never ketchup on grilled cheese.
Speaking of which, I gotta convince my wife to start making that buffalo mac and cheese again. She's got a good buffalo mac and cheese recipe. It's intense.
Like camping?
Very much so like camping. But it's a long process, but it's very well worth it for the receivers of the buffalo mac and cheese.
I'm a big fan of buffalo mac and cheese.
We just got a whole bunch of chicken today.
I'm a big fan of buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip is good too. Tell you what I made today, though, for breakfast. I got inspired. I watched some fucking video the other day. It was like a dude cooking. He was making a breakfast, and the only thing I remember is he threw the bagel right in the frying pan, like in the pan on the stove, and just threw a whole chunk of butter down and then rubbed it around and then cooked the bagel and then took that off and then threw an egg in and then threw something else in. And then I was like, fuck it. We got pulled pork. She made an awesome pulled pork for Friday night, actually.
Yeah.
And we still had some left over. So I was like, throw some. So I did the bagel the way the dude did it. I did an egg the way the guy did it. Folded it all up nicely so it would fit on the bagel as I cooked it. And then I threw some pulled pork in there, heated it back up, threw it in, threw some cheese on it. Dude,
look at you go.
Fucking made myself a hell of a breakfast this morning. And I was like, all right.
Sounds like it.
I haven't eaten since, so that's how I do. I either don't eat breakfast and I eat lunch and dinner, or I just eat breakfast and
don't eat anything
else.
Yeah, go big or go home.
I mean, guess. It was so good, though.
Sounds it. I think one of the biggest shams in the world is those time-lapse videos that you see on Facebook of somebody cooking something absolutely delicious, and you're like, that looks so easy.
Yeah.
And then you realize, I don't have any of those things to make that, nor the skills.
Right. And that's where I was like, I got bagels. I got eggs. Oh, speaking of, before you got here was a shit show. Dude, so storm prepping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got big winds coming in, so we were like, all right, let's finally take this opportunity to clean the fucking yard from the kids just destroying inside and outside, fucking everywhere in between. So we got everything picked up around the house today. Like, I take like a 15-minute break from work, come out, fucking pick up my shit, put it away. Still got the toilet on the front porch if anybody's looking for one, but it's still there.
I think it should stay. That's a main staple.
Really, I might just go put it out on like the front yard somewhere.
Just make it a planner.
I want to. It'd be hilarious.
You'd probably get on some meme. You'd end up being a meme.
I thought about filling it with concrete and making it my post office box holder. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, watch a plow truck hit that sucker.
Yeah, filled with concrete, motherfucker. But so we had everything put away, And I came home with gas for the generator, so I was filling that up. And then we have one chicken that's still like, she got the shit kicked out of her like when we first put her in.
Mm-hmm.
So we pulled her out and she's been on her own ever since. And I was like, well, we need to get her in the coop. And so I thought my wife and I were on the same page. She was in like a little chicken tractor I built, like a one chicken tractor.
Yeah.
Not very big, fairly mobile, but the one side is all enclosed in chicken wire. And then there's like a little house part that's covered out of the elements where the food and water is.
Yeah.
So I took a stick and poked the chicken into the little house part, expecting my wife to be competent enough to be able to open the top and grab the chicken. That's where things took a turn for the worst. I see the top fly open. I watch the chicken jump out and head for the woods. And I'm like, okay.
Things didn't go as planned.
So do we just say, fuck it, figure it out, chicken? Whether a fucking hurricane, I don't really give a fuck. That was my first response. Then conscious Garrett comes in and goes, you've got 2 kids that care about this chicken. If you don't find this chicken, you're going to have to deal with that. So I was like, fuck. All right, here we go.
Chicken hunting.
So her and I tried to wrangle this chicken for about 10 minutes. And I'm in pucker brush and flip-flops and shorts and a cut-off t-shirt trying to chase this fucking chicken back. The chicken just keeps like burying itself inside these thorny bushes. And I'm just like, all right, you little motherfucker. So go get the kids. So now we've got 4 people for 1 chicken. But also then trying to teach the kids not to like just sprint at the chicken because that's all they want to do. And then, I was like, all right, I got a pool net with a long pole.
I was about to ask this.
So I went and got that. And then we had it kind of cornered in like the front section where we've got a ton of hosta and all kinds of big fucking plants that are ridiculous. So we're like tromping through there. My youngest one is just like in her element she's got her own stick beating on fucking trees with. I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but she's a little maniac.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I had the pool and I almost had it like twice. And then I finally just pinned the fucking thing down. I didn't get it in the net, but like I got the front edge of the net on the chicken, drove it into a rock wall and just pinned it there while someone else came over and grabbed it. And then guess what? You might have gotten beat up the last time. You might get beat up this time, but guess what, motherfucker?
You're not leaving.
You're going in with all the other chickens and fucking figure it the fuck out.
Yep.
You either die or fucking figure it out. Sorry. Survival of the fittest. Oh, brings up another thing. The fucking... So I sent Huey a story yesterday. The fucking the actual Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Down in somewhere off of Australia, I think.
Yeah.
The fucking like 6 or 8 boys just hated their school and decided to fucking steal a fishing boat and head off. Dude, wildest story I've ever read in my life.
Yeah,
like they actually did it. And it was nothing like the actual movie Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for entertainment value was probably much bigger.
Yeah.
But these kids took a fishing boat, fell asleep, ended up drifting offshore, getting caught in a huge storm.
Yeah.
And then washed up on a essentially deserted island at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then, as now people have found out, the island actually was inhabited before slave traders showed up and took everybody off the island. And then, but those people that were there before the slave traders showed up had chickens and they had all kinds of livery and all this. So the kids ended up finding it. They set up like their own community, set up chores, had a 24-hour fire going on, and then like got rescued by another fishing boat. And all the kids were assumed to be dead, and it had been 15 or 16 months.
Yeah.
One kid broke his leg, but they ended up like casting it and like doing a splint on it, and it healed
Pretty
like
wild.
almost perfectly. Like, it's pretty cool to see, like, you know,
Resourcefulness.
and like just like overall organizational abilities of, I don't know, they were like 13 or 14-year-old kids.
Maybe it's a little hope for the future. Little.
It is, but that happened in like the 30s, so but yeah, we got fishing coming up, we got friends coming in. They got a daughter to hang out. He wanted to come on the podcast. He wanted to record tomorrow night, but tonight works better for me, so fuck him.
For the people watching at home, we have a guest in the studio. What are you doing?
Oh, Jonathan Churchill commented, "Sup, boys."
Howdy.
Well, and I believe I just saw the Janice of McDougal's was on.
Oh, yeah?
I apologize for all my language that I just used. I'm sorry.
Oop, watch your head.
Watch you.
Hi. Hi. Hi, 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 hi.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about all I got.
We're right at an hour. I mean, we pretty much timed this perfectly with a
We
nice
did.
storm rolling through. We got blue skies, though. Little windy.
Yeah, the wind died down a little bit. So I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Yeah.
If you don't hear from us, this, however you pronounce it, tropical storm,
Isaias.
ISIS is. I love Iowa.